Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Welcome back to 5-Minute Mechs, where I try to give you a rundown on a mech in 5 minutes or less. Spoilers, I usually fail. Today, we take a look at one of my favorite mechs, the Champion. So, to preface this one, I like this mech a lot. And while other people were out there looking at the Marauder or Warhammer as the mech they wanted, I was looking at old technical specs from Comstar's 2750 technical readout, wondering if I could ever get my hands on one of these. So I might be a little bit biased. The Champion is probably one of Bergen Industries' most misunderstood and probably their oddest product in their long history of battle mech production, which first saw the battlefields of the Inner Sphere with the CHP-1N model. Designed to be used as, according to one source, a heavy recon or light strike platform, the Champion is best described as a cavalry mech in my own opinion. The Champion is not only odd because of its technical specs, but also because it has an awkward look to it that's more like an aerospace fighter with legs than a mech. This inherently aircraft look would even inspire an ill-fated attempt to re-engineer it as a land-air mech, which would be the subject of another day, though. And actually, I covered it in another video, one of the mech techs in the podcast. Anyway, the 1N Champion is 60 tons and can move at speeds of up to 86 kilometers per hour thanks to its 300 rated fusion engine. The mech is clad in 8 tons of ferrofibrous armor and armed with a Lublin Ballistics LB does mean Lublin Ballistics, but an LB-10X autocannon, an SRM-6 launcher enhanced with Artemis Fire for control system, 2 medium lasers, and 2 small lasers. This weapon's payload is cooled by 10 single heat sinks. Many Champion pilots felt that the heat sinks carried by the mech were inadequate for its payload, and because of this, many were refitted with double heat sinks, and it was done often enough that it would gain the official designation of 1N2. The 1N and the 1N2 are interesting mechs as they seem to feel, at least to me, like a heavier, non-jumping Shadowhawk. As we know from past mechs, the Royal Divisions would eventually want one of these for themselves, though, and what would come of it would be the 1NB model. The 1NB Champion retained the 300 fusion engine of the 1N and saved weight through the use of an endosteel chassis which freed up 3 tons. As for its payload, the Royal Divisions of the SLDF weren't looking for yet another harasser or cavalry platform, and instead would want the Champion converted to a highly mobile sniper. The 1NB retains the armor of the 1N, uses 10 double heat sinks, and strips out the entire weapons payload for a Gauss rifle and an extended range particle projection cannon. Given its relatively light armor protection, this role suits the Champion quite well, as it's likely to have heavier units built for short, medium-range combat engaging the enemy, which would allow it to stay at long range where its thinner armor is up to the task of protecting it while it snipes in at enemy targets. Most examples of the 1NB would leave with Kerensky's Exodus. The 1N, though, would have enough models stay in the Inner Sphere to see refits during the Succession Wars and would eventually spawn the 2N model. The 2N is a straightforward refit of the design, as it swapped the LBX autocannon for a standard one, removes the Artemis 4 fire control system, and had to replace the ferrofibrous armor with standard armor, losing some protection. While rare, this would essentially make the mech, as mentioned before, into an overweight Shadowhawk. During the clan invasion, the first upgrade of the Champion since the 2N started showing up, at least an upgrade in Inner Sphere hands with the 3N model. First appearing during the Battle of Tukayyid as one of the Clan Buster mechs, Comstar would upgrade the engine to an extra light model, remove half a ton of armor because the Champion definitely needed less armor, upgraded the heat sinks to double strength models, then added a large laser to each of the Champion's stubby little arms. Oddly, this actually works pretty well, as you would stay heat neutral at long range with just the large lasers and autocannons, and at short range with the SRM launcher and medium lasers, and can deal with only a small bit of heat if you throw a couple small lasers in or the autocannon. There would, of course, be another Word of Blake and Comstar variant of the Champion, the 3P in 3061. This model uses an extra light engine and is built on an endosteel chassis. It uses 11 double heat sinks and carries an Ultra Autocannon 10, 4 extended range medium lasers, an improved C3 computer, and an improved NARC beacon launcher which can fire a variety of pods such as ECM and explosive pods in addition to standard NARC homing pods. These variants, which arose from Comstar and the Word of Blake, are quite impressive. Their roots come from the older 1N model of the Champion, though there is at least one more descendant of the N1 model out there, and that would be the Champion C. This, the most beautiful of an awkward machine, I would argue, was built by the clans, drawing inspiration not just from the 1N, but also the failed land-air mech program using the Champion as a base chassis. The Champion C was originally available to all of the clans when it debuted in 2867, and now it's only found in large numbers with Clan Hell's forces, though God only knows what's happening out in the deep periphery with whatever's left of the other clans. The Champion C is powered by a 300 fusion engine and can jump up to 250 meters, hence why I feel like it has some of the DNA of the land-air mech in it. The mech carries 10 tons of ferrofibrous armor with case for protection and is cooled by 10 double heat sinks. It carries an armament based on the 1N that has been upgraded and added to thanks to the clan's lighter and more efficient technology. Its primary weapons are once again an LB-10X autocannon and a 6-tube LRM launcher with Artemis 4. It then diverges and carries a powerful set of secondary weapons with a pair of small pulse lasers to make quick work of infantry, 2 medium pulse lasers, and 2 extended range medium lasers. Unlike many of its inner sphere cousins, which use extra light engines, it doesn't have to worry as much about losing a side torso due to the fact that it won't go down if it does. And it can either keep on fighting, or, likely if it's in the hands of an inner sphere pilot, retreat to the rear for repair, rearmament, to fight another day. Overall, the Champion is an interesting and, dare I say, pretty decent mech. Most people look at the 1N and simply dismiss it because it's an overweight Shadowhawk that can't jump. But to be fair, the mech has served since the Star League in one form or another, has been with either the Inner Sphere or the clans since then. I do hope that eventually we see like a C2 model or even a new Inner Sphere version of the mech based on the Royal variant. God only knows what they could do with that now. I can only imagine, though, a Champion C2 based on the Royal and giving it partial wings with jump. I mean, that would be terrifying. Anyway, that is it for today. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you want to support the channel, then you can go ahead and go to patreon.com/unicorncompany/ yeah, I already said that, where you can support the channel, or you can support it here by joining as a channel member. Additionally, if you just want to support us in some other way, check out our sponsor, FortressMiniaturesandGames.com. They have anything you would need for BattleTech, be it miniatures, maps, rule books, all of it. They also have the new box sets on pre-order, so check them out. There will be a link in the description. And yeah, I think that about covers it. And also, thank you to all my patrons. All of you are awesome. And my channel members, I couldn't do this without you. So thank you very much for listening. Stay safe out there, Mech Warriors. This is Carrie, signing off. Thank you to my patrons. At Captain, we have Sarah. Lieutenants, we have Boy in a Box and Nasty Taurus. Sergeants, BZ Archer, Steven, Faz, Housemaster Poding, and Country Fried Minis. And our cadets, Scott, Jamie, NB Kaiju, Domini, and Brother Carr. I also want to thank my channel members, Miss J. Speechly, Anonymous Only Agent, and Greg Swars. And finally, Unicorn Company's sponsor, Fortress Miniatures and Games. Check them out. They're a huge supporter of the community and the best place to get all your Battletech needs taken care of. If you want to support Unicorn Company, you can become a channel member here on YouTube or a patron at patreon.com/Unicorn Company. Links to my sponsors, also Country Fried Minis and Scott's Game Room, will be in the description. Thank you all, and stay safe out there, Mech Warriors. This is Carrie, signing off.